Hello everyone, this is Madan. How are you all doing? In this video, let us talk about a relatively new concept of solar radiation modification and geoengineering. Will America seriously attempt a controversial and potentially dangerous solar modification and geoengineering? The immediate and real danger is global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is the long-term heating of the Earth's surface. An observation was done since the pre-industrial period, that is between 1850 and 1900s. From then on, scientists are observing what are the impacts of man-made activities. They found out that the primary causes of global warming are due to human activities. Again, primarily because of fossil fuel burning. Some of the fossil fuels are coal, furnace oil, petrol, diesel and many others. This increases heat trapping greenhouse gas levels in Earth's atmosphere. America wants to study and research about altering the sunlight. The US wants to research a phenomenon called solar radiation modification. Let us in short call it as SRM. It involves reflecting a small fraction of sunlight back into the space. The US wants to undertake solar experimentation in the future, but this concept is extremely controversial. Firstly, it would abruptly increase temperatures all over the world. So, is the US playing with fire? Or can blocking the sun help reverse the effects of climate change? With solar radiation modification, there is a possibility of significantly cooling the Earth on a timescale of a few years. The key word is in a few years. The Biden administration is looking towards studying how the sunlight can be blocked to save the planet from the crisis of climate change. Worldwide research is going on in a concept called geoengineering. Geoengineering is a deliberate, large-scale intervention in the Earth's natural systems to counteract climate change. Compared to other methods, this is easy to implement.
The main components of SRM is stratospheric aerosol injection and marine cloud brightening. Stratosphere is an area at the height from 20 to 55 kilometers from the surface of Earth. This layer is 35 kilometers thick. It is only here there is the very important ozone layer. The ozone layer helps protect us from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. The ozone layer absorbs most of the harmful ultraviolet radiation the sun sends to us. Life on Earth is not possible without this layer of protection. In general, scientists know that volcanic eruptions seems to cool Earth. The main components of volcanic eruptions is sulfur in its various forms. Various forms of sulfur have been shown to cool the planet after large volcanic eruptions. One study calculated the impact of injecting sulfate particles, or aerosols, every 1 to 4 years into the stratosphere in amounts equal to those lofted by the volcanic eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991. They found significant results from it. They found out that it reduced the amount of sun's radiation reaching the Earth's surface. The eruption caused a layer in the atmosphere. This layer absorbed heat and reflected parts of heat back to space. They observed that the clouds became more reflective. That is, they started to reflect vast quantities of sunlight and heat back to the space above them. Mount Pinatubo eruption was the principal reason for a clear drop in global temperatures for several years after it occurred. So that is what made scientists think, why not do it artificially? That is, uploading sulfate aerosols in correct places and in correct volumes. According to estimates, 1 kilogram of well-placed sulfur in the stratosphere would roughly offset the warming effect of several 100,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Now we have to know how to upload aerosols in stratosphere. The required altitude to enter the stratosphere varies from 11 kilometers to 17 kilometers. This can be done by various aircraft. Civilian aircraft including the Boeing 747 and Gulfstream G550, C-37A could be modified at relatively low cost to deliver sufficient amounts of required material. Another study said that new aircraft would be needed, but they will be easy to develop. Military tanker aircraft such as the KC-135 Stratotanker and KC-10 Extender also have the necessary ceiling and have greater payload capacity. Even you can shoot shells from modified artillery. This method might increase pollution effects. So there is another highly advanced versions of artillery like railgun artillery. These will be a non-polluting alternative. High-altitude balloons can be used to lift sulfates in tanks, bladders or in the balloon's envelope. So what are the advantages of solar radiation management? Researchers say that stratospheric aerosol injection, first deployed in 2034, can be tuned to either halve the speed of warming by 2100, to halt the warming, or to reverse it entirely. It mimics a natural process. Stratospheric sulfur aerosols are created by existing natural processes, especially volcanoes. The technological feasibility is already available. Marine cloud brightening is also an interesting and effective solar geoengineering technique. But it needs additional efforts. The cost will be higher. And new technology has to be invented and tried. But for SRM, much of the required technology is pre-existing. Components like chemical manufacturing, artillery shells, high-altitude aircraft, weather balloons, etc. are readily available right now. There is also another factor called scalability. That is how far it can be increased in proportion. Research has suggested that this technique may have a high radiative forcing potential, yet can be finely tuned according to how much cooling is needed. The speed of the whole operation. A common argument is that stratospheric aerosol injection can take place quickly. So this can be a temporary solution. Something like buying time. In this time, scientists can work on other relatively safe methods like carbon dioxide air capture. This can be implemented and start acting over decades and centuries.
Now everything depends on the cost. Early studies suggest that the stratospheric aerosol injection might have a relatively low direct cost. The per year cost of delivering 5 million tons of an sunlight reflecting, cloud enhancing aerosol to an altitude of 20 to 30 kilometers is estimated at $2 billion to 8 billion. That would work out to be 16,000 crores of Indian rupees to 66,000 crores. In comparison, the annual cost estimates for a climate damage range from $200 billion, that is 1,65,000 crores, to 2 trillion dollars, that is 165 lakh crores of Indian rupees. Now to get a good picture, India's total cash circulation is 33 lakh crore. Imagine the cost of damage due to global warming. And if we undertake SRM, do you know how long the effect that will last? It will last for over 100 years. That is the benefit of SRM. Now, this kind of a saving is really lakhs of crores in damage limitation. But when interfering with nature in such a large scale will have dangerous consequences. Many scientists have expressed concern over the high environmental, social and geopolitical risks that come with SRM. It will change the temperature of stratosphere. There will be alterations in ozone layer, and ozone layer, as everyone knows, is a very vital zone. The sea level will rise and affect large coastal areas. The acidity of the ocean will increase and cause huge impact on marine life. Even crop production and ecosystems will be impacted. Will geoengineering be catastrophic for the planet? One more main conclusion the researchers made was that billions of people would suffer worse floods and droughts if SRM was used to block warming sunlight. In a complex computer models, it was found that SRM indeed reduced temperature but worsened floods or droughts for 25 to 65% of the global population. SRM could be probably done within 2 decades, but it is difficult to manage and the side effects would be damaging. But ultimately, researchers agree that the international goal of keeping warming below the dangerous level of 2 degrees centigrade would only be possible with some form of geoengineering, and that research into such technology should continue. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Please like, comment and subscribe my videos, and most importantly share them widely. Thanks once again. Take care. Bye bye.